There are tons of AI tools on the market today, but the 5 tools I'm going to show you in this video are the only tools that you need to drive real efficiency gains in your small law firm. I'm going to show you a voice-to-text transcription tool that will remove the need for manual typing. We'll go over some hidden features in common apps like ChatGPT and Claude, and then I'll even show you a platform that allows you to automate workflows end-to-end and build AI agents that can serve as digital employees for your law firm. My name is Masai and I work directly with small law firms to help them figure out AI strategy and build out custom automations and AI agents to help them maximize efficiency. So let's get straight into these tools. So the first tool we're going to cover today is a tool called WhisperFlow. And you can find that at whisperflow.ai, WISPR flow.ai. And basically what this tool is, it's a voice to text tool. And obviously we all speak a lot faster than we type. So I'll just show you some of what it can do here. Hello, my name is Masai Andrews, new paragraph. I run a YouTube channel where I teach AI and automation to small law firm owners. New paragraph. I talk a lot about different automation platforms like N8N, Make.com, Airtable, period, new paragraph. And I also talk about specific platforms to work with AI, such as Llama Index, some LangChain stuff. We do Claude Code as well. That's a brief summary about me. And then what it will do is just transcribe all of that, right? So it's a really simple tool. It's not complex or difficult to use at all, but it just takes your voice and immediately turns everything that you say into text. And you can think about this for writing emails, for any sort of editing that you're doing in any document. You can use WhisperFlow for all of that stuff. So really, really useful tool here for all of your writing, basically. You don't have to do as much typing anymore. You can get through stuff a lot faster. The next tool that we're going to cover is Claude Cowork. But Claude Cowork is basically an AI assistant that lives on your computer and has access to your file system and can take actions within the folders and files on your computer. So if you come to claude.com/download, you can download Claude on your desktop, and then you'll get access to Cowork once you have the plan that's necessary for Cowork on Claude desktop. And then just to show you a really basic demo of what Cowork can do, we have this folder here on my desktop, this Cowork folder, and I'm just gonna tell Cowork to help me outline my next YouTube video. I want to make a YouTube video where we show how to build a case management system from scratch using Claude Code and some agentic coding tools. I want you to create an outline for that video and create a PDF for it and put it in this folder for me. And so you can give it these instructions and it will go off and it'll actually do real work for you on your computer. And you can come back in a little bit and we can see that it actually will go and create that file and put it in that folder for us. And so I can tell it to do a simple task like, again, create that PDF for me, and then it'll go through, it'll ask me a few questions about the criteria that I need for this document. And then it will actually go through and use its different abilities and knowledge to be able to actually create that PDF for me in the correct folder. So if I come into this folder now, I can see this PDF has been prepared. I can open it up and I can see that an in-depth outline for my YouTube video has been prepared by Claude Cowork, right? And so obviously for legal work, we can use this to create templates of different documents. You can use it to organize files in different folders. Again, if you really want a more in-depth tutorial of how to use Claude Cowork specifically for legal work, I highly suggest you check out this YouTube video here, which covers how to use Claude Cowork in depth, specifically for legal work. The third tool that I think should be in every small law firm should be an AI note taker. So again, a very simple tool, and it doesn't really matter which one you use. I use Read AI, but there's tons of other ones. You can use Fireflies, you can use Granola, you can use Fathom, you can use Otter. There's tons and tons of different AI note takers, but I really think this is a tool that should be in every small law firm. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to have an AI note taker that sits on your meetings, any sort of video calls that you have on your computer. It can give you a summary of the call. It can give you action items. It can give you the key questions that were asked throughout the call. And then you can even start to ask questions about the information that it extracted from these different calls, right? So you can ask it, which meetings did I have with John Doe, for example, right? You could ask questions like this and it would give you answers by taking that information from the transcripts and from the notes that is extracted from these different conversations. So again, another really simple tool, but again, I think this is a really, really valuable use case, a really, really valuable application of AI in any small law firm is just to have some sort of AI note taker that sits on everyone's meetings and just extract these notes and transcripts from those meetings. Now, the fourth tool that we're going to talk about is ChatGPT. Now, obviously, most of you guys will be familiar with ChatGPT, but I do want to go through and just cover a few of the features that most people don't use or underuse on the platform that can be, again, extremely, extremely helpful and useful if you're running a small law firm. So the first feature I want to talk about is the Canvas feature. So if you come into this plus button here on ChatGPT, you'll see a whole bunch of tools here that you can use, right? Create images, agent mode to manipulate platforms outside of ChatGPT, a bunch of different stuff, right? But this Canvas mode here allows you to create and edit documents within ChatGPT. So draft a mock engagement letter for the YouTube law firm that is representing a client named John Doe. And then what this does, instead of giving you back a normal response, is it gives you back an actual document format, right? And so this can be useful if you want to copy and paste existing documents in here and you want to manipulate them in ChatGPT, which I'll show you how to do in a second, or if you want to generate certain documents from scratch. Because what happens is once this finishes actually writing out the document, we can click edit and we can go through and we can manually edit the document if we want to. Again, we could obviously come in here and copy and paste an existing document that we already have, but we can also use ChatGPT to edit the document for us. So this is how we can be a lot more iterative. This is how we can, as you guys being lawyers, having a lot more domain knowledge, knowing things that AI won't know. It's how you can steer AI to actually edit the documents in a way that's going to be most useful for you guys. So say, for example, I wanted to say, remove the client responsibilities section and the communication section. Right, and we can tell it to remove sections or add sections or whatever sort of changes we need to make to the document. We can go ahead and have it go through and make those changes for us, right? So you can go through and actually make these changes a lot faster than if you were going to make them, by hand. So again, extremely useful for generating documents from scratch and extremely useful for editing or manipulating your existing documents. Then the final feature that's really important as well, the final features that are important within the Canvas mode on ChatGPT are one, the ability to copy the information here, so you can copy and paste it to wherever you want, but you can also export this. So if I click download here, I can download it as a PDF. I can download the document as a Microsoft Word document or a Markdown document. The other feature that I want to touch on really quickly that I think is really, really underused in ChatGPT is the deep research feature. So for example, if you needed ChatGPT to research relevant case law that's relevant to family court in Texas, for example, and you wanted to do a really deep dive, search the internet, find the most recent things that are going on with that, and also give you back the sources as well, that's what deep research is for. Again, some of you guys will be familiar with this already, but this is a really, really powerful tool for those of you that are not familiar with it. So I'll just come up with an example. Give me a summary of the most recent and relevant civil rights cases in the past 2 to 3 years in the United States. Okay, so then what will happen is it'll just give me a brief summary of what it's going to go off and do. And I can go ahead and click start. It'll go off, it'll do that research, and it'll come back and it'll give us a really comprehensive report about whatever we asked it for. So this is for any time you want to go a lot more in depth than just a simple answer with ChatGPT. And also the really good thing about deep research is that it's going to give you its sources so you can see where it actually pulled the information from. And here is the final output of our deep research. So we can see it took 17 minutes to complete. It has 83 different citations. It's performed 462 different searches. And we can open up this huge summary, give us an executive summary of everything that's going on in here. And it gives us these citations here, right, which is golden, where it can show us exactly where it actually found this information, and you can, obviously double check the information if you want to. This was a really high level one, but you guys may want to do more specific things. You may want to know about different changes in family law or land use law or whatever specific area of law you're using. But this is how you get ChatGPT to go a lot more in depth in terms of the searches and research that it's doing for you. And then finally, the last tool. This video wouldn't be complete without mentioning an automation platform. That is N8N. So N8N is the automation platform I would recommend to anybody, especially if you're running a law firm, for a couple of reasons. But generally, just to go over what you can do with it, you can start to build out these workflows where you can automate tasks from end to end in your law firm. So You can automate the generation of documents. You can build out AI agents that do specific actions for you. And you can really start to see a lot of automation gains by using a platform like N8N. So you can build out workflows like these where you can connect to Google Drive into Clio via API. There's basically infinite things that you can do with the platform like N8N in terms of automations and also being able to build out AI agents as well. Again, if you're more interested in what this actually looks like in a practical sense, I will check out some of these videos on my channel. So I have an intake video here that shows how to use N8N for intake. I have a complete tutorial of how to use N8N here. I have a document automation video here, a document review video here as well, a document review in N8N. I mean, it's basically anything that you could imagine automating, you can basically automate with a platform like N8N. Two more quick reasons why I would recommend N8N for automations in a law firm. One, it's an open source tool. That means that you can control any sort of privacy or security configurations that you want to make, and you can host it wherever you want. Two, again, it's open source, which means that pricing wise, you can host it on your own cloud server, which means you don't have to pay for every single run of the workflow. You just have to pay whatever it is, $10, $15, $20 a month to actually host it on your cloud server. So that is N8N, the automation platform. So that is the main AI tool stack that I would recommend to any small law firm. When you're a little bit further along in your journey and you need help with actual automations and building out AI agents and that kind of stuff, there's a link in the description for that, just to show you how I work with law firms to do exactly that. Thank you guys a ton for watching this video. This was a little bit more high level. Let me know if you guys like this stuff. Leave a comment if you're looking for more technical stuff. Most of my previous videos are a lot more technical, a lot more in depth, and I'm going to be doing a lot more technical videos, but I did want to just give a really high level overview of the most useful tools for a small law firm to get started with using AI tools. Thank you guys a ton for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.